Hey guys, it's me, Daniela, and I'm here with your boy,
Jack here.
And we are going to be covering episodes 3 and 4 of Survivor Season 36, Ghost Islands. Do you want to jump right into it?
Why not?
Alright, perfect. So, right at the beginning, like right out the gate, it's Tribe Swap. We all knew it was going to happen. We saw the preview.
Yeah.
It wasn't a surprise to any of us, except for, obviously, the castaways.
Yeah.
But, what are your thoughts on the timing of the Tribe Swap?
Part of me is like, I liked it because it was appropriate. Like, I felt like, it was a bit early, and I was a bit nervous about that. But I liked it though too, just because there was an uneven majority, and I just wanted to see if the Malolo people, had enough power to push through, do it all, that kind of thing. Just because it's I would love to see them play the game, play hard, be the underdog, and go through it, control the game.
Yeah, that's always very interesting. I agree. I just think that, do you think they plan these tribe swaps ahead of time? Before anything starts? Or do you think they do it as the show progresses?
I think that they do it, I think they planned it out before, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was going to say, maybe they did it so early because they were sensing a begonging or whatever.
Yeah.
Because Navidi kept winning and winning and winning. They thought, oh, let's swap them early. But then I think they do plan it, beforehand. So I thought it was kind of early, I was justifying it in my head, maybe they want a fresh start because they feel like they're going to get steamrolled. Malolo's going to get steamrolled. But if it's planned ahead of time, I thought it was kind of early. But I'm not mad because it's always exciting. Right when people start getting their footing, they're like, nope, sucks for you. But then I also think it just puts Malolo at such a disadvantage because most of the time, at the very beginning of that whatever OG tribe has the numbers, they don't often sway the first time. I don't feel like. So
I think what was interesting for me with the tribe swap was basically you have the two different dynamics. You have Malolo, who's it's a bit more of a screwed up tribe, and their camp's a bit worse and less has less luxuries and stuff. But also as well, you have it where it's you have it's interesting with that tribe, the five of the Navidi were together and were aligned consistently, but you have the other side, the Navidi tribe, and it's a lot more different because although there is maybe a bit of a majority there and playing around with that, you have that it's a better camp, better opportunities, yet because of the tribe being so divided, it's interesting to see how well they work together and everything.
Yeah, if they'll stick strong with their OG tribe, or if they find better experiences on them. Yeah, exactly.
Or if they want to play around with each other, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I think if I were in that situation, I would just jump ship. I don't know. Maybe that makes me a bad player, but you never know who you're missing. I wouldn't stick with people just because they were my old tribe. Imagine if it was just Chris and Dominic just sticking to each other but they hate I wouldn't do that. Just stick with them even if I didn't like someone. So it's a good opportunity for people to make new alliances, even if it is early in the game, because for 7 days you don't have your people for life. It's only been 7 Survivor days. For us, it's been 2 weeks. But
yeah.
I don't know.
The one thing I found just funny was how they highlighted it with the old Navidi tribe going to the Malolo camp and being yo, this is just this is unconditional. This is worse than a FEMA camp, worse than a trash dumpster. How did they build this? How did they survive? Because it's I just found that hilarious because they're just oh my god, and it's just Bradley, shut up.
Yeah, Bradley and his squad were complaining this isn't sand, this is dirt. I get that, and to be real, when you see the dichotomy, you see the shots of both, tribes, or, both camps, they have a point, okay? But, when you are welcomed in someone's home, you do not shit on it.
Exactly.
You just, especially when it's a game of social, everything is, social, your whole life is social, but, you're playing a social game, and you're trying to get $1 million, don't be an asshole to people who are welcoming you into their camp, what is the benefit?
And the thing is too, you're getting there's an opportunity there to get off your butts and refix the camp so it's better. Come on, I know that you guys probably can't make hammocks and stuff, but at least fix up the camp a bit. You have the motivational gym teacher that really nobody cares about, but still you could have
But you're
you could have done something.
Yeah, and that'd be a good opportunity to be hey guys, if you want to fix the bumpy ass freaking campsite, I can help you, we'll sleep better.
Yeah.
That should have been an invitation to make special bonds and like make strong social ties instead of just being like, hello, I am new, I'm going to shit on everything that you have created. Like, where is the logic? I don't know. But Bradley, this is probably the first we've ever seen of him and his crew, but until like as time progresses,
we're gonna see if he can make it through.
Yeah.
But like, why are you afraid to get your hands dirty, like physically, to clean off the camp? Like, come on.
I think that would have been a good idea for them to actually like bond, but of course they did not utilize it, and instead we're complaining like babies. But what can you do?
Yeah.
Oh well. But then we move right into our reward / immunity challenge, which was really fun actually. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
It was good stuff. So it was called the Watchtower, and they had to do a lot of different, like the first one kind of reminded me, like the first obstacle, you know, how to like jump from side to side, reminded me of like American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You know, at the very beginning they do that thing with the, so I was like, ooh, maybe they're getting some inspiration off those Pinterest boards. Like they like made it happen. It was good. I really liked watching that, and like at first, like everyone's different like moves. I don't think I could do like the 1 foot. Like there were some of the big boys who were just like, but I would definitely have to like do a little sprint on each side.
That's some Spider-Man stuff right there, honestly.
Yeah, it was wild, but it was really fun to watch. It was a really physical challenge, and I like all their challenges. They're also all like aesthetically beautifully and pleasing and good stuff.
Yeah, I know.
I love the puzzle.
Oh yeah, the puzzle.
The puzzle was
so cool.
sick. And you were telling me something about how like the puzzle and like how the different statues and stuff in Survivor.
Yeah, like I feel like a lot of it with I'd love to do like a whole podcast about like the art behind Survivor in each season and stuff. But like this season, Ghost Island, the statues that they reference are the ones from Easter Island. The Easter Island is like just that island where there's just random statues and nobody really had an idea of how they are going to get there. And like you see that at the entrance of Ghost Island, you have 2 there. Along with that as well, in the immunity challenge, you have you have like the puzzle that's the Easter Island statue,
which is really cool.
It is really cool, and it's a great like sort of tidbit to the idea of Ghost Island. Is like the ghosts, our ancestors, put these things up. And we have no idea how they got them up, why they're there, what's the significance of it. But it's just really interesting, Ghost Island, and having that mysterious aspect.
That's right. Survivor, even in the little details, is very special and great and good times. So I really like that puzzle at the end too, because of its rich history and also just so aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
And so we had good times there. Everything was great. Malolo did win, and they got the reward, which was the tarp, and also the opportunity to choose to pick someone from the other tribe to send to Ghost Island. But because they just did the tribe swap, they kind of couldn't come to just like a conclusion on who they should send there, because obviously the OG Malolo didn't want to send any of their old tribe members, and the OG Navidi didn't want to send any of their tribe members.
Yeah.
So they brought it to Rocks, which is always kind of scary.
I like that too. I like that twist this season.
Yeah, it's good to give the opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I agree. Like the opportunity to draw Rocks is good, because I don't think what if you can't come to a consensus?
Yeah.
You know, like especially when you have people from different tribes now.
Yeah. So
it was kind of smart. So they drew Rocks, and your boy Chris was sent to Ghost Island, which I was sad about, because there was some talks like right before the challenge, that maybe he was the next one on the chopping block. And I was like, ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and like where they're building up to this whole like Chris versus like Dominic divide kind of thing, and I'm like loving that and living for it.
Right?
And it's just sort of like, oh come on, why does it have to be him?
We have to wait for another week or 2 or 3.
Yeah,
I don't know. But yeah, so I was kind of disappointed about that, because I wanted to see what would happen with Chris, because he's a very strong, dominant personality, and I wanted to see how that would like kind of interact with the camp life. But unfortunately, he does go to Ghost Island. And do you want to talk a little bit about what happens there?
Why not? Like obviously he goes to Ghost Island, and he has like this whole like spiritual, emotional journey, and he's like, I never thought I was gonna cry, and then he starts crying. Yeah. Because like it's an emotional journey. Like,
it is.
Obviously he cracks the urn, and like nothing happens for him.
Unfortunately, no. Yeah.
Sad.
I know.
There's no drama that can happen.
I know. I'm always hoping. I didn't know that like every single like at the very beginning, because like the first one that they opened, like someone got. Was it Jacob who got first? And he got one, and that was great. And I thought every single week they would get one, but then I guess it makes sense why they open one every week. But then I'm kind of like, I was like bored out of my mind. I'm like, come on, give me some action. Like I don't want to wait every week and then there's nothing at Ghost Island. But that's probably how they feel too. Yeah. You know. So I didn't get nothing.
Yeah, it was sort of good though because you get like a sort of like inside of who Chris is as a person as well, and it's different because it's like I think what they're trying to maybe do is like have like Chris being at Ghost Island, you're getting an idea of who he is as like a person, and like I like it too because it was a really great edit because like you get maybe an emotional side where it's like Dominic, he's a game player, he wants to play the game, so maybe you have those two like angel devil kind of contradictions.
Very true. Yeah, at first I never really saw Chris as an angel, but I do see now that he is more like multifaceted because like you kind of at the very beginning you only see like one side of the person, but as they progress in the game you kind of like an onion with layers, you know, just from Shrek. You see the layers of the person and how they have so much more like hiding underneath. And he seemed like such a macho guy, but now we kind of see like it's hard to be like one like away from your family with a bunch of strangers, but also like in isolation, like in a spooky ass island. Like
and like part of it too is it's intimidating because it's like you look at the sign, like every decision you choose like can screw up your game or whatever.
Definitely.
And like the snuffers there, it's definitely a little tense.
Sleeping underneath all those snuffers, I would literally die though.
Yeah.
Like I'd do fangirling, but also I'd be so spooked to be like, this is me, I'm next. So I would be very, very like, ugh. But you know, he handled it pretty well. I probably would have bowled too, so I can't really say anything about that. So good on Chris, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then back at their tribal camp, there was a little bit going on because people were thinking, okay, like let's get Chris, or let's think about getting Chris out. He's a little dominating, you know, let's just try to do that. But now he's not an option. So they're thinking, oh, what's the next best option? Well, who's his second, I guess, right-hand man or woman? Which is Angela.
Yeah.
So they were thinking maybe Angela, but of course nothing ever goes that easily. And like, yeah. So there's always talkings around going on the beach. So Angela was like an option. But then we're also thinking about like people on different sides of like the OG tribes were like getting together, like Morgan and Libby, because they're Christian girls. So then like, you know, it's kind of hard because these people who never talked before are starting to make bonds. So it's getting hard to like it's easy to like stick with your OG, but then when you make friends on the other side, right?
Yeah,
it gets a bit more complicated.
And like part of it though too is it's like, okay, well, like Dominic sort of like through like he was trying to gain trust with these people and being like, oh, this is my idol, but it's just a shell on a string, and it's like,
oh my God,
dude, like what are you doing? Like, come on. But yeah, like it was just sort of interesting and everything, like him and like the whole tribe dynamics, and like there was a lot of strategy I felt that was going on, and I like that, living for it. Like how can you not be living for that?
Yeah, everyone likes a good strategic move and strategic moves. All good stuff. Yeah, so there's a lot of going on the beach. And Dominic, you know, I think he learned from that though. I think he learned from that. He did have to like do a couple like steps back, like he kind of had to redeem himself in Chris's eyes, but he's starting to make some, you know, he's starting to make some smarter moves. I know Dominic is not like, I don't think he's a fan fave, but I like him kind of. I still like him. I know you're not his biggest fan, but I like him.
I don't know, like it's not just that. I think part of it is just I don't love him because he's like, he is a huge, like, I just don't love, like, the Tony archetypes now and everything. Yeah. Like, I don't love, like, the big brooding Italian guys or, like, the guys that are willing to go up in your face kind of thing. Like, yeah, I don't like the whole go heavy, go hard kind of people. Like, I want to see maybe, like, more of different kinds of people in the game.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah. It's like every year you see, like, kind of the same people.
Yeah. Like,
not every year, but, like, some years.
Yeah. And like you see the stereotypical people in certain seasons. So that's the only thing I would say. That's why I'm like sort of slightly against Dominic, just because of this like stereotypical Tony.
Well, maybe he'll go to Ghost Island and he'll redeem himself in your eyes by like having an emotional meltdown. You never know.
Who knows?
He could be like not as hard and like fast as like a Tony or a. I think Tony was a little emotional, but not like a Russell or anything like that. I think he has some emotions in him. So I don't know. I'm still rooting for Dominic. Anyways, anything else we can think of before tribal? Oh, we have the Malolo. Malolo tribe found a little something, the OG Malolo.
Yeah, but on the Malolo, the OG Malolo on the Malolo tribe.
That's right, the OG, that's a lot of Malolo.
Yeah.
The old OG Malolo on the new Malolo tribe.
Yeah.
There you go.
They were like, they realized, and this is Dunkirk, where it was like, listen, and we are trapped here on this beach, and we are going to get picked off one by one by one. We are fish in a barrel at this moment.
Well, it's true. It is true.
And they're like, let's go hunting, let's go find some idols because screw it, we're not going to go find fish.
True. Same. I would do the same exact thing. Honestly, if your back's against the wall, Like, you gotta do something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and I think it's smart because realistically, regardless if they're looking for the idol or not, like, obviously, they're going to be voted out because they're in the minority. So I would be so obvious. I'd be like, I wouldn't say I'm going to look for the idol. Yeah. I'd be like, I'm just gonna go get water. I would be looking for like 5 straight hours until I found it. Like, I don't care. I'm gonna be like eliminated anyways eventually. So like, bye. I'd rather be suspicious and like safe than not suspicious and like going home because I don't bother like trying to protect myself. So I don't blame them at all. And obviously it was for good measure because was it Michael? And the other guy. Yeah,
it was Michael and Brendan.
Brendan, yes.
Michael and Brendan.
And I love Brendan. How can I forget? Yeah. Michael and Brendan, they found it and they shared it with their OG tribe mates.
The other two.
The other two, yeah. Well, not quite yet. I think they saved it to themselves first. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because at the end, yeah. So it was just Brendan and Michael that at first were like, holy shiitake mushrooms, we found an idol. And it was James's original idol from China.
Just awesome.
Which I love because like that was the most iconic moment when he literally left with 2 of those fucking brick idols in his pocket. Like, what?
How?
I know that was if they didn't have that one in Ghost Island, like they would have done goofed because that was like one of the most like iconic moments. So I'm so happy they had it and they found it and it was pretty big. So it was. I'm assuming it's easy to find. Like when they opened, like they picked it up, it was like a big ass piece of like.
Of like, and it's like, oh my god, how can that not be an idol? Like,
right? Like, what else would it be? This random parcel that's like that big.
Yeah.
But it was good. I was very happy because it's not fun to watch. Like, it's just not fun to watch. Like people just get ripped on. Like all like on both sides of the tribe swap. Tribe swap. Malolo is. Like down numbers. Yeah. That's not fun either way. Whatever new tribe goes, one of the Malolo tribe members are gonna be gone, like the original ones. So it's kind of not fun. Yeah. So for them to get a fighting chance, at least add some interest to the game, in my opinion. You know?
Yeah.
Because it's not gonna be as like predictable.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was like, yay! It was good stuff.
No, they go to tribal council, and it was down to. Or, you know what we forgot to talk about? Morgan, she got the legacy advantage.
Oh yeah, we forgot to talk about that.
How can we
That's
forget?
Important stuff. She has a legacy advantage that was brought down to her by the gods.
Actually by Jacob. But
that's true. Basically, the gods.
Yeah.
And so now she has a legacy advantage in her pocket, but I don't think she feels like she needs to use it.
Yeah.
Because when we go to tribal... she doesn't think she's gonna get in any trouble really because I think the consensus was Angela.
Yeah. No, but the thing is with the legacy advantage, like you can only use it at certain times.
That's true too.
She was just sort of waiting for it to happen.
Yeah, so she's just holding it steady. She's not feeling like anything's gonna happen. She's like, I'm gonna have this for later. We're chilling. It's all good. But then bad things happen.
Yeah.
Bad things happen to her because I think the majority or like their side of the tribe really thought that Angela was going home. But unfortunately, that was not the case for her because our Christian girl, Morgan, was outie.
Yeah.
Yeah. She left in a 4-3-1.
4-3-1 vote.
One being Libby. The other one being
yeah.
I don't know why Libby, but just kind of.
Yeah. But she gave that legacy advantage to Dominic.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was interesting.
Our boy Dominic is coming through with the advantages. I love. I'm rooting for him because I think he's fun. He also reminds me of all my Italian relatives. I think that's why, honestly. He reminds me of like every Italian uncle I have. But yeah, I like Dominic, so it's good.
Yeah.
So I'm happy she gave it to my boy Dominic. But I felt bad for Morgan because I feel like it was like a blind side for her. Mm-hmm. So, what can you do?
Yeah. So, let's move forward to episode 4.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so episode 4, it was kind of damage control for Wendell.
Wendell and Dominic.
They just wanted to chat a little bit because they were like, you know, after you get to the beach and everyone's adrenaline's pumping and they want to ask questions, they're like, let's just talk. And I don't think it was very receptive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I'd be like that too. I'd be so grumpy. I'd be like, no. The same way. I'd be like, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
I at least sleep on it. And the next day, maybe. But like, right after tribal, I'd be so pissed. I'd be like, no way. I'm over it.
Yeah, but they try to clear the air and like, it doesn't really work that well.
True.
yeah, it was sort of interesting them trying to do that and stuff, but it's like, calm down. Like, you still got some time to do this. Don't worry.
True. And then the next day they do kind of, or like throughout the like couple of days, they do start making ties with people and like kind of redeeming themselves. Like we have Wendell who's talking to Donathan, making some ties, having some GT, some good times. And we have Dominic with Laurel talking and like sharing some secrets and some whispers. Yeah. So they're doing okay. I honestly think they're both good talkers. So
yeah,
and they're social people. I think actually Dominic can be a bit kind of like aggressive, same as like Chris, that energy, like aggressive kind of energy. But like I think they are like genuinely good people and they're good talkers. So
yeah,
they can make inroads with people.
So yeah, but like it was interesting as well because like the OG Malolo, like obviously Chris comes back from Ghost Island, and like Chris is like trying to talk to the OG Malolo from Navidi, like that are on Navidi, and it's like listen up here, let's try to make an alliance here, let's try to get Dominic out, and like it sort of begins again the whole like Dominic versus Chris war, and it's like I like that.
See, I am on the opposite side. I don't know if I love it, maybe because I think you're more of a Chris boy and I'm more of a Dominic boy. But I don't know. I'm
not like either or, honestly. Okay. I'm just like in the drama because like, nobody's saving it. I want some build up in there, like causing some drama.
Okay, fair enough. I just want Chris to go. I think Chris, okay, I kind of felt bad for him. I liked his emotional, like, revelation on the Ghost Island, but I don't know if I like him as a game player. Like, I guess then I would like a fight if they like were to brawl. Yeah. Then I would like the Chris v Dominic. But right now I just want to see him kick to the curb. That's bad.
But yeah, like basically the OG Malolo, like that. Basically, it was decided through Laurel and Donathan that that they were going to go with Dominic and Wendell, just because it's like, listen, like they decided that because they're like I forget why, but they just didn't really trust. I don't think they trusted Chris and everything.
Yeah.
And that could partially be due to Ghost Island, but like for a bunch of other reasons as well. Yeah. So yeah.
I'm happy with that. I'm on my boys Dominic's. Like he's my winner's pick. Let's go. Actually, I just said that right now. He's my winner's pick. Let's do it. So I like it. They're making some inroads. It's good. It's good stuff. Because you always have to like expand your social circle, even if you're not gonna like necessarily like work with them in the future. It's just good gameplay.
Yeah. It's
just good gameplay. You can't just stick with the people that you talk to and not make conversation with other people because they notice, they bring it up in tribal council, and then you're screwed. You know, they're like, you didn't even try to talk to me once. Like, just save your booty and chat with everyone. You know, so it's good. It's good. I'm happy so far with the conversations at the beach. So we're doing good.
Yeah.
My squad is doing good.
I honestly, looking at it now, I think I'm cheering for Laurel because I like her.
I like her too.
I like her. And like, I like her. I think she's like obviously a bit more of a physical competitor.
Yeah, and mental too. She went to, what was it, Yale?
Yeah.
One of those Ivy Leagues. Yeah, something Ivy League. And I was like, girl, get it. Yeah. So she's a physical threat. She's a mental threat. Like, she's got it. She's a social threat because she's nice and she's like a good conversationalist. Like, yeah. She's kind of like an all over like good gal. So yeah.
Yeah. Honestly though, like, should we dive into the reward challenge?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the reward challenge was fun. That was one of Jack's fave, right? Like,
yeah. I always like the physical challenges that like rip everybody around and like you're allowed to like just get dirty and push everybody around. Like, how can you not love that?
Yeah, right. Release your inhibitions, just go crazy.
Yeah.
And as we were saying, Laurel's the best, and obviously like she dominated that challenge. Like, she was crazy good. She was crazy good. And I was so nervous at one point because Desiree had her in like a legit chokehold. And Probst was like, watch the neck. And I was like, oh my god, you're going to choke her out in the middle of the water. But Laurel got through. She slayed. I was very proud.
Yeah.
It was good stuff.
How can you not love that?
Yeah.
So yeah, but like Laurel basically slayed, making it a 3-1 victory versus like for Navidi, making Malolo going like deuces.
Yeah, that's right.
Bye.
They got nothing. No PB&Js, no milk, nothing. So they went back to their camp empty-handed. Well, they all were celebrating with PB&Js and milk, which was great.
Yeah.
Good time.
But before they did that, they had to discuss who is going to Ghost Island. And they're like, okay, let's not debate this. Let's go to rock.
I think it's just a smart way to go. Honestly, you're not making waves with your old tribe members. Like, it's just safe for everyone.
Yeah. Part of me is like, I'm smart, but like the other part of me is like, still, I want to see where people are aligning and like who's going with who and who's going with what, that kind of thing.
It would add more drama.
Add more drama, but like, fine. Go with the neutral solution.
That's true. Yeah, they're just saving their booties, but yeah, it's not as fun. But yeah, it was okay. They drew rocks, and like it was just like a premonition. It was like a premonition for Kellen because she knew that like she was like, oh, this is my worst fear. Yeah. And then she got the white rock.
And then she goes.
But that's just how the universe works.
Yeah.
It really is.
The survivor gods work.
That's right. So she's off to Ghost Island, and she actually like hits an urn, and it asks her if she wants to play, which is the first one we've gotten since the first episode, the first part of the first episode.
Yeah.
So the first one. So I was pumped. I was like, yeah, girl, get it. Like, if I were in that position, I would play 100%. I don't care.
Yeah.
I would 100% play. But she was like, I'm changing the decisions I make in my life, and this just doesn't seem right to me. And I was like, come on. I was mad. Okay, whatever. I get that that's, like, your feelings inside. But, like, me as, like, a viewer, I was like, this is so boring.
Yeah. Like, part of me, too, is just, like, okay, why you are giving me great opportunity, but like the other part of me is just like, okay, you know what, like conservative decision, okay, sure,
yeah, I guess like, yeah, but it's like you don't always get that opportunity. I feel like most people would understand and would be like, okay, I get that you took it because if I were in a position, I would take it. Maybe that's why I'm mad.
Yeah,
because like. You only get that opportunity like once in, like it's not even every time you get to Ghost Island. So I would have done it.
And you can get like sort of like a survivor record where it's like, yo, like you're like one of the first few people to not vote in a tribal council.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
That would be very sick, but whatever. She said no. It's her game, so you live your life. Pretty boring. But then we hop into the immunity challenge, which is less boring than that. And it was actually a really intricate kind of like complex immunity challenge. It started in the water, getting puzzle pieces, and they had to like lug it all the way across. And at first we see that Naviti isn't really working that great together, and like Chris is trying to pull everything by himself. He's like asking for help, but he has all the rope, and we're like, what are you doing? Yeah,
it's like a good like it feels like 30 seconds where he just hooks it, and then it's him pulling himself, and just
it's
like
not moving.
It's like, dude, no, like why, like. Does it not make up in your mind that it's not pulling? Like that's where it's like part of me is just like it's like, dude, just
look back.
It felt like so long, but it's also like sort of so short as well.
I think it's also like 1 cup of rice a day plus exhaustion equals like Chris not knowing what the rope is.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't blame him, but yeah, I was like, come on, Chris, like put it even their teammates could have been like, yo, pass me the rope, but they're probably all so tired. So they were kind of like already out of it. Malolo seemed like they were going to win by a landslide because they were already trying to get their balls on the ledge. But then there's a come from behind. Naviti finally pulls it together, no pun intended. And they get the balls rolling and they win. I was like, what the heck? And Sebastian was so pissed at the end. He was like, rah!
Yeah.
That would have been me too, but like.
And it sort of sucked because it's like, okay, you could tell Sebastian like was really wanting to win that. Yeah. And like it was sort of like.
It was so close too because it was like 4 and 4. Like they were like kind of getting their last one on, and Sebastian was the one throwing the last one. Like,
and it kept on like going up and then not going up, and like I think what I really liked about that too is like the like Vanacore Music, who composes Survivor. Firstly, follow them on YouTube because they're really great. Like. Music from Survivor.
I love that vlog.
But also as well, it's like they have this really, really great like the score as well. It's like it tensed up really at this one moment, right when like Manolo was gonna win. Then it just stopped.
Right, and I told you, I was like, no, they're definitely gonna win. Like you can hear the music, like they're definitely gonna win.
And then it was like a smaller like crescendo that wasn't as tense, and it was just like smart.
Yeah, no, I fully thought like that's what brainwashed me into thinking that Malolo like had it in the landslide. And you're so right, and I didn't even notice, but Jack notices like the intricate details.
The little details.
The little details, yeah. And I was like, damn, like I thought they had it, but they didn't. So we had Naviti win this one, so they're pulling it out, and it was good time, so they're safe. And then we go back to the Malolo tribe, and we have Steph.
So shall we head into pre-tribal?
Heck yeah. So we see Steph on the beach praying for hope, or meditating for hope. She like writes in the sand and stuff. Because she's like, oh man, we don't have the numbers. we're basically screwed. There's no way we're gonna win. Because at that point, they don't know about the idol that Michael and Brendan had gotten. So they're just like, okay, if anything, like, let's just meditate. That's all we got going for us right now. But then Michael and Brendan come up to them and they were like, yo, guys, we have an idol. And they were like they were shook to their core. They were like, what? So it was good times. I was so happy for them because it just makes it more interesting when you know there's going to be some, like, you know, some...
There's some hope.
Yeah, there's some hope. And there's some kind of, like, competition. Like, when you know that someone from the other, like from the minority is going to go home every week, it's like, ugh, you know? Like, I could just write it. I could just write the whole show. But when you know there's, like, twists and changes, it kind of just keeps it fresh, keeps it more interesting. So I'm happy that they find that idol and they start to devise kind of like a plan, which is very interesting, where they wanted to, like, expose Bradley and stuff.
Yeah.
And speaking of Bradley.
And speaking of another random person that showed up with these confessionals, Chelsea. Like, these confessionals just came out of left field, just like Rourke said it in season 35, and it was just like, what? What's going on here?
I know, right?
And it was just sort of weird. It was like, you always get that one weird Survivor confessional a season.
You're like, who are they? But they had to show Chelsea because she became relevant at Tribal.
Yeah.
I get that. And Bradley, too. We guess we kind of saw, like, inklings of him last episode or last week, but really I guess it's because they haven't been losing.
Yeah.
Right? So you didn't really have to see them. But it's so weird. We're like, who is she? Like, I don't know her. But yeah, so they got some random edits and we're like, okay, sure, hey.
Cool.
Yeah. But then it kind of all became relevant when we went to Tribal. But before we went to Tribal, we have to talk about how they devised the plan. So they were just going to fully just expose Bradley as, like, a ringleader.
And have, like, a hashtag Bradley exposed party.
I love it, yes. Bradley exposed party 2018, baby. So they were going to do a little crazy thing like that and show the idol before the votes just to kind of, I guess, spook them. Like, I don't even know if they were intending on using it or not, but spook them and just spook them into jumping ship and joining the minority. Which is smart. Like, why not, you know? Kind of just let them know that, like, it's not going to be easy for them.
Yeah, and like sort of throw stuff in their way. One thing also, because I'm, like, sort of becoming a bit more of a nerd when it comes to like production wise.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna follow Be a Nerd here. I love they had this run great shot where it was like, I think it was a drone shot, and they were like walking to Tribal, and they like the drone like sort of went up, and they were like walking here, and it went up and went over on top of the jungle and fade to black, like living for that.
They've had a lot of good drone shots.
Like shot.
Yeah.
Especially like great drone shots.
Yeah, they've had so many good drone shots. My favorite's always like at the beginning of every season when they put props on like this random tall object. Yeah. And they just zoom out. But I know it's in helicopters, but still, regardless, I'm like, oh my god, yes. But they've had a lot of good shots, this season for sure. And then right before that, or right after that, we're headed off to Tribal, which gets a little bit wild and free, which I love. Because it wasn't such a kind of definitive. At first, they were like, you know, they're in the minority, like, it's going to be whatever, like a generic tribal council.